Hello and welcome everybody to Let's Play Transport Fever. I've been checking this game out on Steam and it's playing pretty fun since then. I've played it a bit, so I'm going to start playing the free game and we'll see how it goes. In this series, I'm going to try to get $1 billion made because that's one of the achievements. Alright, I'm using an advanced one because I'm getting tired of looking at desert all the time. But I'll go USA. So I'm gonna make it large, hilly, 1-to-1. Start in 1850, hard mode, and we'll just. Yeah, I'll make it really easy. Wunder, Blunder. So, for those of you who don't know what this game is about, basically you start your own transport company and you create lines, assign vehicles, build infrastructure like roads and rails and airports and all that stuff. It's a little bit bare bones, but I'm still having fun with it, so I bought it and we're going to go it. And sorry for not wait, shit. Hang on a second. Is that actually recording audio? Yeah, it wasn't. Whoops. Alright. Okay. All right, hang on. Where is that noise gate? Yeah, I don't want every single noise to be picked up. Okay, this is much better. Yeah, it takes a little bit for it to load, but I'm not worried about it. And no, the audio did stop manually. Or automatically. Fuck, if this takes forever, I might as well just restart the video when I already got a map. Because it sure loves to take its time. Oh, okay, we're doing it now. Wait, what? Is it going to reflect the changes made? Okay, alright. I don't know if that was supposed to happen on the video or if it got fucked up at all, but we're gonna continue on. Holy crap, the frame rate. What the hell happened? Alright, so the first step that I like to do is take a look around and see if I can't find any easily accessible lines to set up and make a quick profit. Because we start with $1.2 million, a small loan of $1 million, some might put it. And we've got to turn that into millions upon millions upon billions of dollars. Is there anything nearby that I can profit off of really quickly? There's food processing near there, but nowhere near other stuff. Damn, this is a pretty shit map. Alright, it looks like I'm gonna have to stick with, Oh, hey, there's one. Okay. There are two ways of making money. You can either transport people between towns, or you can transport goods. Now, people are easy. All you gotta do is plop down some stations, and people may or may not show up. And the more you can move, the more people will show up, and the more demand there is at the town, the more people will go. Yada, yada, yada. Very complicated. It's interesting to note that this game works on a demand-based economy, not a supply-based economy. Basically, just because it can pump out 250 barrels a minute doesn't mean it will. Not if there's no point. So you got to make sure you have the entire line set up before you start. And what I mean by that is getting into the other point of cargo. Now, cargo is different from passengers in that it is involved in production chains. For instance, this farm makes grain and livestock. Now those two products are used in a food processing plant, which takes grain or livestock. That's what this little line means. It's an ore separator, and it makes it into food. Now, you'll make money if you transport the stuff from here to here. You'll get some money. And the amount of money is based on the distance traveled. So, what you want is, you want a maximized ratio of distance traveled to speed. You don't want it taking a long time, because it's not gonna... It's like, it's distance as the crow flies, not actual distance traveled. Like, I could do all sorts of crazy shit, like I go like whoop 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 whoop, and it would only give me the money based on the distance from here to here. So straight lines are better. So now if I've delivered stuff here, and don't worry, I've paused the game. You get 3 speeds, paused, and then 1 speed, 2x speed, and 4x speed. Once I've delivered it here, these will produce food. And now it will only, this farm will only produce stuff if I take away the food. If there's no place for the food to go, it's like, hey, why the fuck am I making this food if no one's gonna pick it up? Hey, fuck you. And so then the farm gets the memo, and they shut down, so nothing happens. So food is used by commercial. If you click a town name, you'll get this overview screen popping up. The population, 215, which basically says how many people are living in the town, and it also says how much line usage, which is basically how much the people of the town use your transportation lines. Getting a high usage of transportation lines helps encourage growth of that population, and more people means more money for you. Shopping facilities use 3 different kinds of goods, or 3 different kinds of cargo. They use tools, food, and goods. And right now there are 66 buildings, or I think 66 cargo demand, or not 66 buildings, but 66 cargo demand for tools, food, and goods. Satisfying some of these speeds up increase. And it's not like just one and done. These will continually use it. So as you continually supply it, them with, if you say you give like a 94% satisfaction rating for supplying food, that will increase the shopping facilities. The rate at which they expand will be increased. If you fill all 3 of these continuously, you'll probably see a large expansion in shopping facilities. Likewise, jobs, industrial buildings, also take 3 different types of cargo: construction material, machines, and fuel. Similar to the commercial buildings, if you satisfy these, this will increase the rate at which job buildings reproduce. Because towns can expand. It's very cool. You'll start with these little tiny towns, and then they'll expand to like sprawling monstrosities. It's quite fun. So anyway, let's set up a basic line between this farm, this processing plant, and the town of Salinas. Now to begin with, let's open up the info view menu and look at land use. See, right now, the green buildings are residential, the blue buildings are commercial, and the yellow buildings are industrial. Right now, we are going to be supplying commercial buildings, so we will have to put down a cargo depot, a truck station, because we're going to be using trucks to begin with. Because I cannot afford a train right now. The thing is, each of these has an area. If I put this here, looks pretty good. However, that means that I have to be, these things will travel this way, then here, then over here. However, I can circumvent that by building a road. Or, I could, of course, just build a road somewhere over here and get a whole bunch of stuff. Which I think I will do. Ta-da! Now I've got a good cargo port that deals in both industry and the commercial buildings. Success. Now let's place one over here, and when you place it, you can, if the building is lit up, you can tell whether or not they will accept the building. See how the food processing plant is lit up? That means that they will accept the building. Or rather, the truck depot is within the range for that to transport its goods here. Because you can't just, like, show up to the building. Though I really think you should be able to. But no. We got that one, and now we need one for the farm. Farms are a pain in the ass because if you delete a field, that'll cost you a lot. And early on in the game, you can't really afford that. Like I said before, in this game, speed is the deciding factor here. The reason for that is because vehicles have two costs. I say vehicles, I mean cars or land transport, trains, airplanes, boats even. They all have two different costs. It costs some money to buy it, and it also has a monthly running cost. These things also have a maximum speed. So, as you can see, it's a quite mathematical relationship. If it can't travel fast enough to make a profit over its monthly running costs, it's not fucking good. Now, considering we're starting in 1850, the only thing we got available are horse-drawn carts in terms of land transportation. They're a bit slow at a whopping 15 kilometers per hour, or whatever the fuck that is in miles per hour. I switched it over to miles per hour. I should see that soon. But they still do make profit if it's close enough. So anyway, right now we need to make a line. Lines basically tell the vehicles that are on it, go here, go here, go here, etc., etc. Now, I like to put them like they do with airport names, so I'm going to call this Sal Food. You're going to start here, You're going to go here. You take the livestock and grain to the food. Make it into food. And then you're going to drop it off here. This means that they're only going to be deadheading one leg of the trip. As they go from here to here, they'll make a profit from delivering the grain and livestock. As they go from here to here, they'll make a profit from delivering the food. Not as much because it's less distance, but still profit. And unfortunately, as they go here to here, they will be deadheading. Deadheading is a trucker term that means that you're not carrying anything. So you don't want it to happen that much. It's basically pure loss. But unfortunately, you can't do that. Ways to avoid deadheading on, say, a train are basically like carry one thing one way and then carry another thing the other way. Now, I also like renaming this, so I'm going to call this Sal Farm. Farm, not Darm. Sal Food Prep Plant. And I'm going to call this Sal Depot. Okay, we've got the stations all set up. We've got a viable transit line. The only thing left to do is actually buy the vehicles. To do that, we go here, we buy a depot, and right now we're using roads, so we're going to put down a road depot. We head up in here. We buy road vehicles. Right now we only got two choices. A horse-drawn carriage, which is only carrying passengers, or a horse wagon, which can carry any type of cargo right now. However, these two can only go 9 miles an hour. That's basically 3 times as fast as a person walking. They also cost $2.29 thousand a year and a lifespan of 15 years. That means that they need to be making a profit bigger than $2.29 thousand a year to begin with, to be profitable. I say to begin with because a fact is that the older a vehicle gets, the more its running costs become. Once it reaches the length of its lifespan, you'll be adding a whole 50% to its running costs. So right now that's at what, 2.29? In 15 years, the running cost of that is going to be $3.435 thousand a year. That's a lot. But hey, we gotta spend money to make money. Let's just buy a whole fucking ton of them. Set them all to go on to there. And then let's get started. Ooh, look at that high speed going. Where the fuck are you going? Damn it. Go the fuck the other way. Alright, considering this is boring as shit. Better reverse all the directions on this. The thing about depots is they don't immediately get all the thing that's waiting there. See how it says line usage no? Well, it takes a little bit for it to realize, oh hey, I can move stuff there. So until then, it acts like a dumbass. But don't worry, we don't blame you. Alright. Come on, link up. There we go. Signs point to yes. Now, even though it's linked, it still is slow when it first starts out transporting stuff to there. Oh, there we go. We've got 1 unit of grain. Now, each of these can hold up to 4 units of whatever they're carrying. But they can't hold 2 different types of units at the same time. No land vehicle can. It's always designated 1. You can for vehicles that have multiple types like this. In a depot, you can manually configure what you want the vehicle to transport. Like if you only want something to transport, say, grain and not the food, you could say, hey, only transport grain. However, we were counting on these to go back and forth and carry all different types of loads, so we just let it be automatically refitted once it reaches a depot or a truck stop. As you see, it pulls up here, it loads it on, and it continues on its way. While it's not actually carrying a full load, I just need these to keep holding on to keep loading up, so that way it teaches the farm that it can send a whole bunch of grain and livestock and stuff, and it will get picked up. And these things tend to wait a certain amount of time since the last one left. It's a good way of automatically spacing out your deliveries, but yeah. I'll turn off the photo view. See, this one's picked up too, because it was in the process of loading, and more has shown up in the meantime. That one doesn't have anything, so I will flip it. This one forgot things again because it's dumb. They've only picked up grain. That's not good. Should have livestock too. Well, the reason for that is I'm guessing it's still sending its grain out first. Now, you'll see all these dirt roads to begin with, but sometime in the 90s, I believe it's near the 40s or something, these will change into the paved roads that we all love. Ah, there we go. See? Starting to pick up livestock. Some of these pick up grain, some of these pick up livestock, all sorts of stuff. Beautiful. Fantastic. Alright, as much as I enjoy looking at slow-moving objects, and I don't, to speed things up. Okay, we've just gone through another year cycle. The thing is, you start the game in debt already. I mean, you didn't... When I said a small loan of $1 million, I wasn't kidding. You start off the game in debt to the bank for $1.2 million, assuming you start, of course, on hard mode. The loan interest is fixed based on your loan amount. At the current level of loan, I owe the bank $30,000 each year. So it's deducted at January 1st of each year. You can see a handy-dandy total at the bottom. If it is red, you've lost money that year. If it's green, you've made money. This is a perfect screenshot. It's carrying, what, 1 grain? And just like the food farm plant, This thing is not instantaneous when it comes to making food. So you gotta, like, putz around with it a bit. See that right there? That green $1.21 thousand? That's the amount of money we made. If you look at a vehicle and go to its finances tab, you can see the amount of money you spent in running costs per year compared to the amount of money you've made in income. As you can see, last year we've made a $1.52 thousand loss because it's run without making a profit. This year, which considering this year it was only since it was over there to over here, we've spent $382, but we've made $1.21 thousand to make a profit of $830. We'll probably still lose money because on this vehicle this year because it hasn't carried anything back, but it'll all balance out. So now once this delivers two, this should deliver like $2.42 thousand a year. Much better. And all sorts of fun stuff like that. Unfortunately, there's no good route from using this to this town over here. Either way, horse-drawn carts aren't really the fastest. Oh, hey, we got our first pit of food. That's great. You see, the trick is you've got to make more of a profit than the $30,000 that you spend every year at the beginning. If you don't, you're just going to be in a cycle of debt where you can't buy anything. Unless you take more money out, of course. And look, we've got like 8 and 9 units. Now this is why I'm going to buy more horse carriages. And of course, they're idiots and they go the wrong way, so I gotta reverse the direction on all of them. But that's okay. I'll deal with it. Ah, we got 12 and 14 waiting over there. Any one of you carrying food? Ah, there you are. Look at that, 3.64 thousand. Any other places I can make a profit real quick? Hey! I could take iron ore from here and coal from here, move it to this iron factory or steel mill. Then I could take this steel. I could take the steel and move it to the machine factory to make tools. And I could take the slag and move it to the construction materials plant to make construction material. And then I can transport it either to Cape Coral or Allentown or Syracuse. But that seems pretty expensive. what I'd probably do is I'd create a few different lines. A line from here to here, delivering the iron ore. Then a line from here to here that would deliver coal. This depot would also be in range of this. Then I would make a line that would deliver coal from here up to here. This, now being supplied with both iron ore and coal, would now produce both steel and slag. I would have a line that ran from here to here and back and forth. The line would then carry the coal up and then the steel and slag down. Well, the issue is I gotta make sure that I have enough trucks to carry both of them. But that's fine. Then the steel, once it gets here, gets made into tools, and the tools get put into the depot. Also, the slag gets put into the depot. Then I've got trucks going from here over to here, and these trucks will carry both the tools and the slag. So now I've got slag and tools sitting in this depot, and this depot will convert that slag into construction material and put it back in the depot. And then that construction material and slag would get moved into Syracuse. It's foolproof. Of course, it's going to be a while off. I have to remember that for now. Of course, we lost a lot of money this year because we bought a bunch of stuff, but next year we'll see the effects of having a whole bunch of trucks on the line. Now, I got a decision right now. I could either pay off the first part of the loan and have less money to spend, but pay less money next year. Because I don't really want to take money from the bank. This will be like a instructive thing on how to get the penny pincher achievement, which is don't take any extra money until the year 2000. Well, I think I'll hold on to it for this year. Whoa, shit, it's been 30 minutes already. Alright, I think that's enough of that. I will see you all in the next video. Actually, I really should stop ending videos like that. I just need to like fade out or something like that. Ah, hell. Toodles!